Good morning, YouTubians. It's Kermit's Ghost. You can call me Alan. It is Monday, the 10th of November 2025. Just 45 days left till Christmas. I hope you're all on the nice list. It's a Blu-ray release day today, and amongst the titles coming out, we have the Back to the Future trilogy coming out individually on 4K limited edition steelbooks again, and these are priced at £50 each, which seems a little bit steep to me. The Mask is getting a 4K release and a Blu-ray release from Arrow, as well as a new movie, Naked Gun, which is coming out today, none of which I plan to pick up. I am after 3 titles though, which I will point out after I've shown all the releases for the week, and then I'll bring you back here for the video's conclusion. And of course I will be stopping off at Costa Coffee for a piping hot latte before I head into Brighton's shopping mall. Not a sponsor. So I'll see you all in the city. So here's a little bit of local history. On the seafront, this is the boundary line between the two former towns, Brighton and its neighbour Hove, which were both separated towns. They gained city status in the year 2000, probably much to the annoyance of Hove. This is a boundary line that is reinforced by the Peace statue, which was erected in 1912 in honour of Edward VII. I actually moved to Brighton in 1987, year of the Great Storm. Not my fault, I should add. On the east side of the statue, it bears the Brighton Arms, which features 2 dolphins and 6 martlets. And on the west side of the Peace statue, which is Hove's side, it features the Hove Arms, which features a ship which represents the French attacks on the coast. It also has the 6 martlets of Sussex. And interestingly, the Meeting Place Cafe on the seafront would have been half in Brighton, half in Hove, but now we are one. I'm going to follow the line up to the Western Road where all the main shops are, and we'll see more evidence hidden in plain sight. And here I am now in the city on Western Road, and you can see a paving stone with HP representing Hove Parish and BP representing Brighton Parish. I'm guessing Brighton Council laid that stone, as it's crooked as the politicians that run it. So here I am in HMV, and in no particular order, I'm going to start with the new Avengers. This is a secret agent action TV show, which is a sequel to the Avengers TV show from the 1960s. This show, which consists of 2 seasons, aired in 1976 and 1977. It stars Patrick Macnee as John Steed, who is mentoring 2 new agents, Gambit, played by Gareth Hunt, and Purdy, played by Joanna Lumley. Guest stars in this show include Peter Cushing, Alan Armstrong, Keith Barron, Caroline Munro, Pamela Stevenson, and Martin Shaw, with Lewis Collins, whose chemistry together was so good they wrote a series for them, The Professionals, which ran from 1977 through to 1983. The Blu-ray box set is priced at £99.99, whereas the 4K box set is priced at £149.99. Absolution next from 88 Films. This is a psychological thriller from 1978, and it stars Richard Burton as Father Goddard. He's a form master at an all-boys Catholic boarding school where he teaches 2 boys, one who confesses to murder. But is it all a prank? This also stars Billy Connolly, Dominic Gard, and Brian Glover, and this one is priced at £16.99. Naked Gun next on Paramount Pictures. This is an action parody comedy movie from this year, and it stars Liam Neeson as Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr., son of the infamous and inept lieutenant played by Leslie Nielsen, and he has to stop an evil villain from releasing a virus that turns people into mindless fighting thugs. It also stars Pamela Anderson, Kevin Durand, Danny Houston, and Paul Walter Hauser. The Blu-ray is priced at £14.99, and the 4K is priced at £24.99. Prisoner of War next from Kaleidoscope Entertainment. This is a martial arts war movie from this year, starring Scott Atkins, who is an SAS officer who's forced to fight in a Japanese internment camp when his plane is shot down. This one is priced at £12.99, and it carries a 15 certificate. Police Squad next on Blu-ray, the complete series, of which there are only 6 episodes ever made. I could have swore there was more. It's a spoof police procedural show starring Leslie Nielsen as Frank Drebin. William Shatner actually pops up in episode 4, titled Revenge and Remorse. This show has an overall runtime of 151 minutes and is priced at £14.99. The previous release for this is still available on HMV's website, and that is priced at £12.99. The Life of Chuck next from Studio Canal. This is a fantasy drama from last year based on a novella by Stephen King. Charts the life of Charles Krantz, but told backwards, starting with his death and ending up him as a child. It stars Tom Hiddleston and Jacob Tremblay as Charles, or Chuck as he's known in the film, and there's also Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, Matthew Lillard, David Dastmalchian, Nick Offerman and Mark Hamill. The Blu-ray is priced at £14.99, and the 4K is priced at £24.99. But wait, there's also a 4K H&V exclusive first edition, which includes special packaging, a 64-page booklet, and 4 art cards. This set is limited to 1,000 copies and is priced at £29.99. The Executioner and A Way of Life next, which aired in 2022. This is about a top-class executioner and priestess called Minu, whose job it is to kill Akira Takito, who is a high school student, who can actually control time, making Minu's task almost impossible. However, feelings between the two start to surface. This 12-episode show is priced at £29.99. Irvine Welsh, Reality is Not Enough next. This is a biographical documentary on the Scottish writer, the man who wrote the books Trainspotting 1 and 2, Filth and Glue, with narration from Stephen Graham, Maxine Peake, Liam Neeson and Nick Cave. This has got a runtime of 88 minutes and the Blu-ray is priced at £14.99. Sister Boniface Mysteries Series 4 next on Dazzler Media. It's a detective show that's a spin-off from Father Brown, which features a Catholic nun, Sister Boniface, played by Lorna Watson, who solves crimes in the Cotswolds town of Great Slaughter in the 1960s. There are 9 episodes, including the Christmas special, which is titled Once Upon a Time. This one is priced at £24.99. Rick and Morty Season 8 next, which aired in May this year, consists of 10 episodes, got a great guest voice cast, which includes James Gunn, Zack Snyder, Danny DeVito, John Rhys-Davies and Charlie Day. And if you're unaware, it's a science fiction animated show where Rick's a genius scientist who happens to have a drinking issue and is a total narcissist. His grandson is Morty, nervous, always in situations out of his comfort zone, and they zip through parallel dimensions. This is priced at £24.99. Dark Star next. This is an independent sci-fi comedy from 1974. You got a starship that's well past its prime that's captained by Lieutenant Doolittle, who actually took over from Captain Powell, who died on a malfunctioning toilet. And they're on a mission to an unstable planet, and the crew have to talk down one of their thermostellar bombs from not exploding. Yes, they have talking and thinking bombs on board. The Blu-ray is priced at £15.99. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest next on 4K, a 1975 comedy drama which stars Jack Nicholson as R.P. McMurphy, a convicted child sex offender who pleads insanity to escape incarceration. He's sent to the Oregon Mental Institution where he makes friends with fellow inmates but butts heads with the passive-aggressive head nurse Mildred Ratchet, played by Louise Fletcher. Also stars Brad Dourif, Christopher Lloyd, Danny DeVito, Will Sampson and Vincent Schiavelli as fellow patients. This one is priced at £22.99. American Pie 2 next on 4K. This is a sex comedy and set 1 year after the first movie, and all the cast return from the first film for more of the same. The likes of Eugene Levy, Jason Biggs, Alison Hannigan, Sean William Scott, Molly Cheek, Eddie K. Thomas and Jennifer Coolidge. This one is priced at £22.99 and it carries a 15 certificate. Evil Laugh next from 88 Films. This is number 59 of their Slasher Classics collection, and this is a horror comedy from 1986 about an old orphanage that burns down and it's being rebuilt by a group of medical students, but they end up being targeted by a masked stalker. This one is priced at £16.99 and it carries an 18 certificate. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 Part 2 next. This is about an overweight and unemployed man who dies and then gets reincarnated into a fantasy world and gets a second chance at life, a life without regrets. And there are 12 episodes in this set and it is priced at £34.99. Ticks next on 4K from Screenbound Pictures. This sees a bunch of youngsters and social workers camping in the woods. Unfortunately for them, hungry, mutated ticks are also in the area. This stars Clint Howard and Seth Green and is priced at £34.99. The Battle of Algiers next on the 4K Collector's Edition. This is an Italian and Algerian-made war film from 1966, which charts the Algerian War of Independence, which sees rebels targeting the French government in North Africa. The war lasted from 1954 to 1962. This one is priced at £16.99. Blake's 7, the Collection Series 2 next on Blu-ray, and if you're wondering, there are 4 series to this show. It's a low-budget British sci-fi TV series which aired on January 1979 through to April of the same year. Comprises of 26 episodes put onto 6 discs, and the extras include rare convention footage, interviews with Brian Croucher and Roger Murray Leach, and audio commentaries. This one is priced at £39.99. Next is Materialist. This is a rom-com from this year set in New York City. It's about a woman who works at a dating agency and becomes romantically involved with an older man that she meets at her client's wedding. However, her ex is back on the scene, making things complicated. It stars Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans, and the Blu-ray is priced at £14.99.
F1 the movie next from Warner Brothers. This is a sports drama from this year that's produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, about a former Formula One race car driver played by Brad Pitt who comes out of retirement to help a struggling F1 team, plus maybe bring some purpose back into his own life. This also stars Damson Idris and Javier Bardem. Plus, we have music here from Hans Zimmer. The Blu-ray is priced at £14.99 and the 4K is priced at £24.99. But wait, HMV does have the 4K Steelbook in store and that one is priced at £34.99. Mikey next from Treasured Films. This is a psychological slasher from 1992 and it's about a little boy called Mikey who gets himself adopted but then turns out he's a complete and utter psychopath. Stars Brian Bosnell as a title character who's probably best known for playing the character Andy in Family Ties. This has got a 15 certificate now, but when it was reviewed by the BBFC in 1992 it was banned due to the James Boulder murder in the UK. The Mask next from Arrow. This is a comic book comedy fantasy starring Jim Carrey as Stanley Ipkiss. He is a put-upon bank worker who thinks he's saving a drowning person off a bridge, only to find out it was a mask created by Loki that was floating in the water. He puts it on and he's transformed into a green-faced maniac who has no inhibitions and cartoon-type abilities. This also stars Cameron Diaz as Stanley's love interest and Peter Green as the villain of the movie. There is a standard Blu-ray release for this, which is priced at £17.99, comes with a plethora of extras. There's also a deluxe Blu-ray edition, which comes with an illustrated collector's booklet as well as a double-sided fold-out poster and 6 postcards. That's priced at £24.99. And there's a standard 4K Arrow release, and that one's also priced at £24.99. Next we have the Predator 5 movie collection box set, but knowing the new Predator film's just been made, this already feels a little bit obsolete. But there's Predator from 1987, followed by Predator 2 from 1990, then Predators from 2010, followed by The Predator from 2018, and then Prey from 2022. Obviously, this is not going to include Predator Killer of Killers from 2025, or for that matter, Alien vs. Predator from 2004, or Alien vs. Predator Requiem from 2018. The Blu-ray box set is priced at £39.99, which is a pretty good price in my opinion, and the 4K box set is priced at £79.99. Pickups for me today will be Sister Boniface and F1. I was going to pick up Ballad of Wallace Island, but it's been pushed back 1 week. Put in the comments which, if any, you are planning to get.
Hey everybody, welcome back. 4 titles to talk about as per usual. One is a TV show about a serial killer, one is a family-friendly adventure film, and 2 are science fiction action movies. So let's crack on with it. Okay, first title to show you, and this has been out for quite some time on Blu-ray, is Dexter Original Sin, and this is, I want to say, a coming-of-age crime thriller. Serves as a prequel to the 2006-2013 Dexter TV show and was created by Clyde Phillips, who was a showrunner on the original Dexter. This aired on Paramount Plus December last year, concluded mid-February, and this show explores in more detail, because it was actually covered vaguely in the main show, how Dexter became a serial killer of serial killers. And Dexter, by the way, is played to perfection by Patrick Gibson. So, Dexter gets a job working for Miami Metro Police Department in the forensics lab. His adoptive father, Harry, who is played by Christian Slater, good bit of cast in there. He is a homicide detective working in the same station, and he's fully aware of Dexter's activities. In fact, it is Harry who gives Dexter his moral code of who should be a target, people who are proven without a shadow of a doubt to be a serial killer and seem to get away with it. That's pretty much all you need to know. Also stars Molly Brown as Dexter's sister Deborah, and Molly is perfectly cast in the role, as is James Martinez as Angel Batista. He was spookily similar to the original character. Also features Sarah Michelle Gellar as a chief of forensics, Tanya Martin, and of course you got Michael C. Hall as the narrator of the show. Michael is Dexter Morgan. Unfortunately, with the new Dexter show titled Dexter Resurrection being such a huge hit, they're plowing everything into that show, and this season is now become a one-off, unfortunately. So this show's got 10 episodes in, each around 50 minutes give or take, and a total runtime of 506 minutes. Let's take a look inside. Slipcover and the cover have the same image. There are 3 plain blue discs, and on the reverse of the cover you have an episode listing, and you've got Harry's code there on the other side. So that was Dexter Original Sin. Okay, next one to show you is The Legend of Ochi. This was a recommendation to me by Mr. Jamie Powell, so thanks for that, mate, and it's nice to see you back on YouTube. So this is a fantasy adventure film from this year that was written and directed by Isaiah Saxon, this being his first feature film. This is set on a fictitious island called Carpathia in the Black Sea, where its occupants fear and hunt a creature known as the Ochi. So it stars Willem Dafoe as Maxim. He is the father of 2 children. He's got an adoptive son called Petro, being played by Finn Wolfhard, who is probably best known for playing Mike in Stranger Things, which is coming back soon, thank goodness. And there's also Maxim's biological daughter Yuri, who's being played by Helena Zengel, who was that little girl in the Western News of the World. And this, by the way, is set in modern times, which really threw me. They've got radios, cars, supermarkets, the works. So, at the start of the film, Maxim, who is obsessed with killing the Ochi, leads a hunt for them in the forest at night. The Ochi, by the way, are similar to a slightly larger version of a chimpanzee, but they're orange and reddish in colour, got blue faces. And during the hunt, a baby Ochi is stranded up a tree when the shooting begins, and it unfortunately is left behind. The next morning, Yuri's in the forest and she finds this lost baby Ochi from the previous hunt, who is now got his leg trapped in a trap. So she sets it free, brings it back to her home, and later sets off to reunite it with its own kind. I won't say any more story-wise, but don't worry, that all happens within the first 30 minutes or so. Still plenty going on. And this also stars Emily Watson as Yuri's mother, who is now separated from Maxim. I've got to say, this was a lovely family film. The effects are fantastic. They use practical effects, which really help. The Ochi are as cute as a button. They are all operated by puppeteers. I'd say if this came out in the 80s, I'm sure it would have been a massive hit, just like Gremlins is. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 35 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So inside we have a yellow disc. So that was The Legend of Ochi, and unfortunately this is a bare bones release, no extras at all. I know, Jamie, you had the import of this film. Let me know if it has any extras on it. Next one to show you is Jurassic World Rebirth. This is a science fiction action movie from this year, directed by Gareth Edwards. Now his films consist of Monsters, Godzilla, Rogue One, The Creator, and now this, so all good so far. Starts out in the year 2008 in a remote lab on some remote island in the Atlantic Ocean, where a mutated T-Rex kills a scientist, causing the lab to shut down. Cut to 2025. Dinosaurs not been able to survive the current Earth's atmosphere, and they've all been moved down to the equator, which resembles the climate temperatures and radiation levels from their era. And as a result, all humans have been forbidden by the world's governments from travelling to these dinosaur inhabited zones. And wouldn't you just believe it, a greedy pharmaceutical company from America, which is called Parkogenics, they plan to go to these forbidden danger zones to extract biomaterials from 3 very large and potentially dangerous dinosaur species. Their objective is to find a cure for cardiovascular disease, though, so good intentions. So the team soon set sail, but it's not long into their mission they run into their first species, and that tries to hunt them down and kill them. And that's all I'm going to say story-wise, but this all happens within the first 20 minutes of the film. There's still plenty going on. This stars Scarlett Johansson as Zora Bennett. She's a mercenary who plans to keep everybody safe. There's Mahershala Ali as Duncan Kincaid. He's heading up the entire DNA retrieval mission. And in addition, there's Jonathan Bailey. He is a paleontologist, and there's Rupert Friend as a pharmaceutical executive, or dino snack as I like to call him. Picture quality on this, crystal clear. And the pacing was pretty good as well. I didn't have any issues with this film at all. I went in with low expectations. It's got a runtime of 2 hours 14 minutes. Let's take a look inside. The slipcover and the cover have the same image. And you have an image of a T-Rex chasing a family on a raft. Well, he's not on the raft, they are. And that's a subplot that's going on throughout the story. So that was Jurassic World Rebirth. Next and last is the Fantastic Four: First Steps, another Marvel movie. This one's set on Earth 828, which is different to all the other Earths in the Marvel Universe. 37th film in the Marvel franchise, and this one is directed by Matt Shakman, who is primarily the director on WandaVision. So this film kicks off pretty quickly with the Fantastic Four already back from their ill-fated mission, which led them to all become superheroes. You got Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic. You got Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, she's the Invisible Woman. Joseph Quinn, her younger brother Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and Eben Moss Backrack as Ben Grimm, the Thing. Reed and Sue are married. They're expecting their first child. Will it be born with superpowers? Who knows? Well, this, by the way, is set in the 60s, very retro, but despite the 60s setting, the technology is very advanced. You've got robots, computers, not to mention flying cars and space travel, all established. Reed's also working on a teleportation device. And the Fantastic Four are constantly battling supervillains like Mole Man. But when the Silver Surfer turns up at the Blue, telling the team their world is under a real incredible threat from Galactus, who is voiced by Ralph Ineson, who has the deepest voice on Earth. Fact. The team have a real fight on their hands. The Silver Surfer is played by Julia Garner, who you may know from Lee Wannell's Wolfman or Weapons, which I'll talk about next week. I won't say any more, but don't worry, this all happens within the first 20 minutes of the movie starting. I like this movie. I'm glad it didn't go down a whole origin story again and they jumped straight into the already established superhero story. It looked interesting, completely fresh, and it was seen at Disney and Marvel once again heading in the right direction. Don't mess this up, Disney. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 55 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So inside we have a disc with an image of the robot that assists the Fantastic Four. So that was the Fantastic Four First Steps. So that was it. Have you seen any of those? Do you plan to pick them up or just want to leave a comment? And then do so down below. I will read every single one and I'll try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up, it really does help the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. Why wouldn't you? And on that note, all that's left to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.